Hello everyone, Pally Time here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are once again going to be playing as Tychus. Now, he received some balance changes since the last time we've played him, even though we did a video for him recently. Basically, in the last video, I showed basically how you jump into fights as Tychus and survive through everything, and that has changed a little bit, so I wanted to make another video. The build's going to be more or less the same, but the way you approach fights has to be different. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Garden Terror map today. The friendly team, Tychus, Tychus, Malfurion, Illidan, Sergeant Hammer. Very balanced team on our side. We are going to go with armor-piercing rounds. Bonus damage on our main target when we use our Q ability. The enemy team, Zeratul, Brightwing, Sonya, Diablo, and Sergeant Hammer. They have a pretty good team as well. We are going to be going top lane with the hammer. We're going to be playing Protect the Tank because that's what you do when you have a hammer. Conflict begins. Our Q ability is Overkill. It's going to allow us to spin up our minigun, hit, damage all the enemies in front of us, and still be able to move at the same time and kind of reposition. Our W ability is the Frag Grenade. If we throw this out, it's going to displace anything we hit with it, if we hit anything with it, and also deal some damage. It's a good way to move around characters or interrupt some ultimates. Alright, we got to protect the tank. Protect the tank. And then our E ability is just a very short range dash, which allows us to reposition a little bit. Now, the main change that Tychus has gone through since the patch is the simple fact that his Odin does not have another health bar. Typically, with Tychus before, when things were starting to look bad, you would just hop into the Odin, and all of a sudden you have 2,000 more health, and you can kind of do with it what you want to. That's no longer the case. Now we are going to have to basically use the Odin. If we decide to even take it, we're going to have to use the Odin prior to a fight starting, and then walk in with that extra range and damage bonus. Let's go ahead and clear out these ads before nighttime falls. We got 1 second before that happens, and now we need to start. Sonya looking to gank me. What was that? What was that about, Sonya? We need to start getting some seeds, some skulls. Of course they are seeds, but I apparently mess up objectives all the time, and it's definitely not on purpose, everybody. Definitely. We managed to pick up some there. It looks like the enemy team already gathered the other side. I'm going to be making my way down to bot because that's where the remainder of the friendly team is, other than the tank that we're supposed to be protecting. But we should be able to help Tychus and Illidan get some kills here. Speaking of Tychus, landing a very good grab on the enemy Diablo, and we're going to hit him with a grenade. That was enough to kill him with the help of Illidan, and now I need to back out of here. You can see as we're moving, we're still dealing damage to the enemy Sonya, and we are able to get out of there just fine. We're going to be picking up Vampiric Assault. Whoa. Whoa, which is going to allow me to heal from my auto attacks. It's important to mention, good polymorph from Brightwing is going to stop me in my tracks, and it's important to mention that your Q does not count as auto attacks. Your Q is an ability, so even though you're basically using your minigun still to deal damage, you're not going to be healing from that damage when you are using overkill. It's important to make that distinction. That's something, for some reason, I had a really hard time wrapping my head around when I first started playing the character. It looks like our Illidan is going to overextend and die over it. Guys, I'm just going to get XP. This isn't going very well for us. Let's just walk in here with overkill. We'll start AoEing this down. Looks like they're still trying to fight this. If anyone comes top, it looks like Sergeant Hammer is getting flanked. I might be able to clean this up. Grenade going out is going to miss. Zeratul is chasing after the hammer. But you have nowhere to go now, buddy. He's actually walking into our towers. Are they still contesting? Oh, the terror's about to die. Move! I got it. I got it, everybody. I didn't get anything, though. All right, overkill going out on the enemy Sonya. We're going to zone her out of here. We can now switch our target over to Brightwing. Use a grenade. Oh, she's totally body blocked. I was going to use a grenade to control her a little bit more. You can throw a grenade while you're spinning your minigun. It does not interrupt that while you're using the Q. I guess I should distinguish between saying that and spinning your minigun. Basically, you do have to wind up your minigun in order to get your attack speed up. Right now, our attacks per second is 4, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous amount of attacks per second. I'm just going to use this opportunity to push middle lane. No one is soaking XP up top, and the enemy team is not soaking XP in the middle lane. So I can potentially do a lot of damage here. Sonya coming in for a gank. We're going to dodge that Ancient Spear without even trying. I do have to worry about these polymorphs from Brightwing, though. Brightwing is able to basically stop my minigun windup. So if I get it going and she polymorphs me, then that means I have to take the time to let my minigun wind up again. Also, if I'm using my Q ability and the Brightwing polymorphs me, it basically puts it on cooldown, and it does have a 15-second cooldown, so that can be quite the hindrance. Looks like the enemy team going for this shit up top. We are going to be picking up first aid, which is going to allow us to become a little tanky. It looks like the enemy team, there you go, she interrupted my ability with that polymorph, just like we were talking about. Sonya over here is totally body blocked. Now Zeratul is too, but it looks like Stitches is going to fall. We're going to try to back out of here. I'm getting body blocked in every direction, though. Use our Q ability, and instantly gets interrupted by Diablo. But we can land a grenade on the Barbarian to take her down. We can kind of poke into this. The team is all behind me, not really doing anything. And we do push back the enemy team. They, of course, got a lot more of the seeds than we did, and they are going to get the first Garden Terror of the game. In the meantime, I am going to rotate top just so we can soak some XP up here. Both teams not really doing a good job of getting XP, so this could be where I shine, I guess. Malfurion's doing all right. All right, so they have gotten the Garden Terror. It is making its way down to the bottom lane. We see two members of the enemy team in the middle lane. At least two of them were there, so we know that everyone on the enemy team is going to be bot. So I can use this time to kill these towers. I should be relatively safe up here, and every time I kill one of these towers, we are going to generate 400 XP for the team. Now this, of course, is assuming that my team is able to deal with this, and considering they're fighting down bottom instead of chasing the terror, the odds of that are not looking too good. So we're going to go ahead and fall back and try to counteract this a little bit. He just used his polymorph. No, he didn't. All right, we're just going to backpedal with our Q. Try to stay out of his range. Go to the sippy cup, and then we need to focus down this flower before it does too much damage. All right. The terror's making its way back to the middle lane. Oh, it's going for some tier 2 stuff, isn't it? Maybe not. Okay. Anybody want to help? Anybody? They're still fighting bottom. I mean, I guess they have to, because this is a pretty sizable split push. The enemy team is protecting their tank. Let's go ahead and try to chase him down with this Q, maybe get a grenade in front of him. The grenade did not help us, but we do have a good body block here if I was faster to get into position. All right, gonna keep chasing. How's the push going bottom? Actually, looks like it's going really well. The reason I've hesitated on my ultimate here is because honestly, I don't know what I want to pick up. Let's just go with the Odin. Let's just go with the Odin to contrast how the Odin was working in the last video. I do think the laser drill would have been okay here. So the enemy team's still pushing. Let's clear this wave out and head down there. Wow, they did a lot of destruction there. I may be in a bad spot here if they circle up, but they did not. We potentially could go for this camp right here. I'll go ahead and ping it for the team. Oh, hey, Brightwing. How you doing, girl? How you doing, pretty mama? Let me whisper in your ear. We are going to pick up that kill, no problem. I'm going to go ahead and use my first aid. We're going to get out of the fight to jump into our Odin. And now we're going to be able to deal a ton of damage. The enemy Zeratul is going to be taken down. Barbarian following soon after. And now I'm switching all of my damage over to Diablo just because he was the closest thing to me. We do have the Ragnarok missiles, which we have to target now. They used to just do that on their own. We also have an E ability, which is going to allow us to kind of thrust around. Basically the same as our E ability outside of the Odin. So we do have a little bit of mobility in the Odin that we did not have before. That, of course, is to make up from the fact that the Odin's health bar is also your health bar. So you have to be really careful with your positioning when you're in the Odin. You cannot overcommit to fights. It's no longer a reset button. You have to actually use it with some brain function, which is going to make Tychus a lot more difficult. Unfortunately, this is going on right here. Let's try to get in position to help. It may be a little too late. Looks like a Void Prison has caught two members of the enemy team. Sergeant Hammer for the friendly team is completely out of mana, but we are re-engaging in this nonetheless. Q going out on Zeratul, switching to Hammer, switching to Brightwing. We dealt some decent damage there. They did get out with very little health. I should be able to tank this for the team. We're going to go ahead and use first aid just to make sure. Brightwing re-engaging is going to be interrupting my Q yet again. We're going to try to dash out of the way of Zeratul. Of course, he could follow us if he wanted to, and I am going to be forced out of this fight, but I can get a little more AoE damage off before I actually leave. So we'll just go ahead and do this. All right, cool. You know, picking up Regeneration Master at level 1 may not be a bad idea on Tychus now, because you really need that survivability if you actually want to deal any damage in these fights. The fight is continuing to go on. Zeratul and Brightwing, very low health at the bottom lane. So is Sergeant Hammer as she is trying to escape from the top. Illidan jumping in front of Sergeant Hammer is going to land some good body blocks and is able to take them down. There's Seeds just laying around all over the place. No one's picking them up. We are going to go with Giant Killer. That is going to make our auto attacks deal percentage damage based on the maximum health of the target we are fighting. So if we go after Diablo, he's going to be taking considerably more damage from our auto attacks than, let's say, a Zeratul would. But it's still extra damage, and that's going to be from just right-clicking, not using our Q ability. Our first Garden Terror of the game has spawned as the enemy team is trotting down the middle lane with their second of the game. Looks like our Stitches is going to pick that up, which is fine by me. Let's go ahead and try to run some interference here on... Oh, Zeratul's here as well. Zeratul's right here. He can blink out of that, of course. Let's just right-click this Diablo. Try to deal some damage there. We're doing 29 damage and some change every time we auto-attack, but remember, we're doing 4 auto-attacks a second when this minigun is wound up. Try to avoid that polymorph here. We have a perfect body block on the Terror as it's forced out the other direction. Zeratul getting jumped on by our Illidan, but he's going to be able to get out of there because he's Zeratul, and that's what he does. I'm going to go try to stop this Diablo. The Garden Terror is following suit, though, so we're going to focus all of our attention on that. Now that the flower is spawned, we need to focus that down before it's able to do too much damage. And then we're going to walk in the base for a sippy cup. Using my Q ability on the Garden Terror, we should be able to chase it down, no problem. And now the Barbarian has shown herself. We're going to be using first aid here. I don't think it's going to be enough. No, we are going to fall. Our Garden Terror, on the other hand, is doing a phenomenal job of pushing the top lane. May actually get this keep right here, which is the name of the Tier 2 fort, for those of you playing along at home. Zeratul on the scene now, Sergeant Hammer showing up, and Brightwing is never too far behind, so that Terror is going to be pushed out of there. But it looks like it did a ton of siege damage. I don't believe this fort was killed when that started. I may be wrong, though. So good job on Stitches there. As we look at our stats, we're doing okay. We're not doing that great. Sergeant Hammer is doing a ton of damage, though. Really holding this team together right now. Stitches, unfortunately, bit off a little bit more than he can chew on his little getaway as the enemy team has started to surround him. We are coming up to the top, but it looks like we're going to trickle in. So I'm going to stop doing that and take this camp as fast as I can. We should have enough healing every time we auto-attack, which, again, is 4.5 times a second right now. Or is that... No, it's still 4. Excuse me. Which is 4 times a second right now. We are going to be healing for 11. So every second, we're getting 44 health back. Math. We're going to go ahead and pick up Stone Skin at level 16. At level 16. Which is going to give us a shield for a percentage of our maximum health. Some people were commenting on the last Tychus video saying I was using the shield at the wrong time. It doesn't have anything to do with your current health. It has everything to do with your maximum health. So it doesn't matter when you use the shield. You're going to be... Oh, hello. You're going to be getting the same amount of shielding. Zeratul potentially could re-engage here and ruin my day. So let's just go back to the Sippy Cup for right now. There is a team fight going on in the middle lane. We need to be making our way down there. One good thing about the Odin change is it allows you to use your Stone Skin and First Aid when you're in the Odin. Zeratul being taken down by the minion wave. Now we are pushing deep into the enemy team. Diablo, the only thing really in range of me, so we're going to hit him. And we pick up the quadra kill. Can we dash forward and help with the mega kill? We do get the ace on the enemy team, and we should be able to deal a lot of damage now, getting out of the Odin as it does fade. Also, some people were telling me it's called a Thor. No, it's the Odin. It's better than a Thor. It's the upgraded model. And it says Odin right there. I swear I know what I'm talking about sometimes. Everyone always second guessing me. I don't know why. What'd I do? The friendly team pinging that they want to get seeds, but Diablo just looking like he wants to die right here. Okay, fine. I guess we will get seeds. The enemy team starting to respawn. The only person still dead is Sergeant Hammer, who is the slowest person on their team. But remember, Brightwing is never far behind. I guess Brightwing and Sergeant Hammer actually move at the same pace. So, yeah, there's that. We are going to be able to pick this up, no problem, it looks like. And all of these seeds will mean that we can summon ourselves a nice Garden Terror, which is forming in the base right now. The enemy team looking like they're starting to gather in the middle lane. So we could either try to contest their golem right now. I use that term loosely, theirs. I mean, everything's ours if we want it enough, right? Oh, no. Oh, he drops the Void Prison super early. I guess wanting Diablo to deal that fire damage, we're going to jump out of the fight for a second, get into the Odin, and deal all kinds of AoE damage to the enemy team. The enemy Sergeant Hammer now out of position. We should be able to pick him. We should be able to take her down, no problem, though. And now, moving in to fight this. Do we get lifesteal from our auto attacks? We might actually get Vampiric Assault in the Odin. I'm not too sure on that. That's going to need some further testing. Sergeant Hammer is picking up the Garden Terror back in base. As we are cleaning up the Garden Terror on the bottom half of the map, we may actually get enough seeds to have another one. No, I think we're going to be a little short. But then again, there's this other camp right here. There's some seeds on the ground there. I don't know how many are in it, though. Oh, yeah, we're going to have 2 Garden Terrors back to back. Awesome. Awesome. So right when this one dies, we're going to be able to get another one. That's fantastic. We are now focusing on the bottom lane as we are moving into position. Zeratul trying to go for a split push. Is Zeratul doing an auto attack build? Kind of. No, not really. Kind of. I don't know. Don't really know what he's doing. He's dying to a fort right now. No, minions are coming in to tank it. All right, we're going to start cleaving down these towers with our Q ability. There we go. I don't know why everyone wants to focus the gate so bad. Diablo using his lightning breath. Turns out you can be interrupted by the polymorph of the Garden Terror Diablo. We're just going to be right-clicking on him, dealing that extra damage with... Oh, the Void Prism coming out. Dealing that extra damage with the Giant Killer talent that we picked up earlier. In 4 seconds, I can hop into the Odin. Will it show us the attack damage increase to 419? Every time we auto attack with this Odin, we are dealing 419 damage. We've hit level 20. I'm going to be picking up the Nexus Fury, which is going to increase our attack speed and our attack range by, I believe, 20%. Going after Sergeant Hammer again with my skill shots. We didn't fire one off for some reason. We're going to use the Ragnarok missiles and take down that tower, no problem. Our attack damage down to 96 now. It went from 96 to 400 something. That's crazy. And with this final push, we are going to take down the enemy's core. So basically, with the changes to Odin, you have to plan ahead in team fights a little bit more. You have to use it as you walk in if you want the extra damage. You cannot wait, like I was kind of doing in the last video of Tychus. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button below. Also, I believe this is the last day for the Beta Key giveaway. There is a link down in the video description where you can find a link to our Beta Key giveaway. We have over 200 keys to give away, and today is the last day that you could sign up for that. I apologize I haven't been mentioning it much. I've been trying to catch up on work and, you know, and stuff and things. But it's always been in the video description of all of these videos. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.